So, for the second movie that I got to see with MoviePass this week, is probably one of the other most hyped ones out right now. It's been out for a little while. It has the more flashy musical style feel. A pretty decent cast with Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Michelle Williams, Zendaya, very recognizable cast. Songs by the people who made La La Land, which was probably one of the most popular movies at this time last year, was The Greatest Showman. And to start out, I had some opening thoughts. I liked The Greatest Showman. It was an entertaining movie, but I did feel there was a lot of things that could be done better, as well as there was a lot of things that I hate to say disappointed, but I just felt weren't executed exactly the way it needed to be. Um, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the movie. I'll go into more detail why my opening thoughts are kind of vague. I might go into spoilers down below, so to say. So, I mean, assuming if you're watching the review, you've probably seen it. If not, there could be spoilers. But I personally enjoyed it, but it's one that I probably would recommend maybe waiting till a Redbox or something, or it wasn't as I don't think it's as amazing and as a must see as some people might have been saying. And that everybody has their own opinion. Let's also say that like my opinion is not everybody's opinion. So if somebody else liked it and somebody else enjoyed it, I am not a person that should tell them what they should or should not enjoy. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts out on this. So start off the music. They were very interesting choice. I will commend them that they've made their choice and they stuck to it. They did all modern style music. Nothing there reminded me of the time period that the Greatest Showman took place in that setting. It felt very movie like, and sometimes it felt very High School Musical like. That's not a bad thing. I mean, I think it knew what it was doing and it knew what it was trying to do. So I'm not gonna say, oh, it made the movie bad because I enjoyed the music. Um, I was just surprised they didn't make it more. They never made me feel like with the music that I was in that time period. You know, with T.J. Barnum and the circus and his story. It felt like it was just I was watching something modern and listening to something modern. Which I mean, that was their take and that's what they did and that's their right. Um, I enjoyed it, but I really do wish that it had a more classical style feel because that would make me feel like it put me more into it. Um, because like I said, the modern music made me feel it felt a lot of times like High School Musical, um, you know, and that was just for me. I just did not. For me, it kind of held back the movie from what it could have been for me. I still enjoyed it. It's still catchy music. I'll probably still listen to it, but you know, it would have been nice to have something more timepiece oriented if you're going back to that time and showing off a lot of that time. Next is the acting and singing. I think the singing is fine in this. The acting was good as well too. It's nothing as extraordinary. There's no person in here I'd say give an Oscar nod to. Anybody should get an Oscar nomination. It was all basically good acting. Nothing stand out. Singing wise, I don't honestly think there should be like, there's going to be an Oscar nomination for song here, but there shouldn't be because none of the songs stuck out to me the way other songs have. Especially when you have movies like Coco with "Remember Me." Um, there really shouldn't be a like Oscar worthy song in here. The singing was fine. It's catchy music. It makes you want to kind of dance, makes you want to have a good time, and you're having a good time. But nothing, I guess, moved me in the music. Uh, with that, with that being said, and that's not saying it won't move other people, and other people can't be moved and enjoy it. And I personally enjoyed it. This is just my take. Um, and how I felt. I just felt, Zach Efron was, decent in the movie. Hugh Jackman, and anything, I was disappointed with Hugh Jackman, especially after how strong he was in Logan. And people tried giving him kind of buzz to be an Oscar nomination for this movie, and I'll straight out say like, no, he should not. For my personal opinion, he should not get an Oscar nomination for this movie. In fact, if he was to get an Oscar nomination for anything this year, it should be Logan because if you put those two movies side to side and you just looked at acting, you'd be like, I'd rather he did so much more in Logan than he did here. Um, I just didn't find him amusing all the time in this movie, which is sad because he's such a good actor, and it's not like he did a bad job, but it was nothing special in my eyes, and that's not a bad thing. Like I enjoyed this movie, um, but I was really hoping for something more from what I've heard. Missed opportunities. How I would describe this movie is it makes you have fun and you can sing and you have fun, but it also really missed opportunities that you can tell they tried to do. They spent a lot of time going over the circus performers that he got and how they weren't accepted in their society and how he gave them a place home and they gave you a little bit of that, but they never truly went deep into that and made you feel for them. It was always kind of like a side plot thing. Everything felt like a side plot. Um, they could have gone more in depth with Barnum's history and maybe how he wanted to be more famous or not. They did a little bit, but then again, it just right when they were potentially getting to that, it just became a side plot for another thing, and you had a love story in there, some in a couple of different love story arcs or things, and none of them were really felt like the center and the soul of the movie. So, you know, I felt there was a lot of and even this calling it the Greatest Showman. Never watching the movie did I feel like, oh my gosh, I am watching like the most amazing thing in the movie. It just felt all kind of plain and ordinary, So they could have went a few different ways with this movie and really made it feel extraordinary. They could have made the scenes in this with the circus and performing more than just kind of a musical act. They could have made it feel like greatest, like the greatest show. Like you just saw the greatest movie. Um, if they wanted to do it, touch more in terms of having like a social a message in there, and that don't judge people by their cover. Delve into that issue and go in and really highlight that. You know, maybe tell some personal stories, not just say, "Well, we've never been accepted." So I really just felt like this movie missed opportunities to really focus on one thing in soul. It was a lot of trying to do four or five different things and make four or five different points, and but never fully commit to one. Which for me personally, is why I kind of was disappointed because yeah, it was entertaining, but there was so much more for me watching. I was like, this could have been great. This could have been these like a standout movie. Like the source material, everything they had in this. If they just took some time and delved into some things, and maybe let take the hands off a couple things and go hardcore into more. This really could have been a standout, dropped in amazing movie. Instead, I'm like, I enjoyed it. You know, I liked the music was kind of cool, but that's what it was. It was a musical to me. It wasn't um, for me an emotional, deep movie, which is okay. I mean, if that's what they were going for, that's what they're going for, and if, that's making money, and that's all good, and people are enjoying it, that's all good. I just saw there was so much more potential and missed opportunities that really could have made people, I think, enjoy it, but also feel and grasp things from it. Uh, where should this land for Oscars? Nowhere, in my opinion. This should not be a best. This should not be a best picture nomination. I don't think there's anything that has anything that's a best song. I really don't think anybody here deserves an acting nod. It was a good, you know, it kind of is using the Oscars and kind of using like it as like calling it the Greatest Showman as like an Oscar style movie as something that can make more money. Um, but if this was released in, say, in a time where you didn't have blockbusters going on, which is kind of right now, I think it would still do very good in the box office. And, it wasn't made for very much, and it was a passion style project for a lot of these people. Um, I just personally think that nothing about this movie made me think it was best of the year. Uh, there was no performances, no songs, nothing made me feel it was best of the year, and that's okay. I enjoyed it. There were things that it missed that I felt could have made it better. Um, but I can't go back and change those things, And just because I want them to change those things doesn't mean that they should. They made the movie they wanted to make, and people are enjoying it, and that's all that matters. Not every movie needs to be an Oscar movie, and this is for me just wasn't an Oscar movie. All around, just it was an enjoyable movie. All maybe you get the DVD, listen to it. It's a fun, enjoyable movie, but nothing stood out as just like standout. Everything was kind of just felt like a normal kind of go through the motions enjoyable movie. Uh, which is why my overall score might be lower than some people. It is a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said in the first review I did, for you to get like a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, even an 8 out of 10, that has to be a really great movie that I'll probably want to see twice in the theaters, at least. Something that I really enjoy. If it's above a 6 for me, that means I'm enjoying the movie. It means that I enjoyed it. I had a good time. That I still enjoyed it. I just want to make sure when I grade on a tougher scale. Um, if you didn't see the review, I did Jumanji. I gave that a 7.5. I really enjoyed that movie. Um, and there's nothing wrong with giving a movie not a high score, but still enjoying it. I think a 6.5 is perfect because I had fun, I had a good time, but nothing's going to stick with me in this movie too much. It's just something that I enjoyed watching. Good popcorn movie for me, and that's my personal opinion. People out there who are raving at it that want to watch it every day, that love it, that may be giving it 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, whatever, A, B, whatever their score ratings are, they have a right to their own opinion, and they are not wrong. Um, Everybody has a right to their own opinion and their own feelings, and being able to discuss it in a civil manner without telling somebody they're straight out wrong is okay. Um, you know, but telling somebody that their opinion is wrong on something that is totally just perspective is should never be looked at as something that's the right thing to do. Um, if people are enjoying a movie and for them it's something powerful and something great, and you don't enjoy it, that doesn't mean that that movie isn't what it is for them. Uh, differing opinions are okay, and that's why for me, there's a lot of people I follow on Twitter that were like, I wish I could just watch this movie all the time. I love it. I love singing the songs, and I'm happy, and that's what the movie experience was for them. And there's nothing I can say to take that away, and there's nothing I should say that takes that away. This is just my personal opinion. It was just a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'm happy with Movie Pass. I get to experience these movies in theater. Um, but if I was on a budget, this would be one I would personally would have been happily passed on, you know, because it really wasn't anything standout. And that's not bad. I still enjoy it. You can still enjoy a movie without it being standout. And that's why I gave it a 6.5. So with that, I will be ending this review. My plans for this weekend are I'm gonna go see the post, upload my own video on the post, hopefully see the Darkest Hour as well, um, and really see how these movies that have been in limited release and slightly opened. The Darkest Hour has been wide release for a little while. I just got my movie pass this week, so I'm finally getting to see some of these, like The Greatest Showman, Jumanji, Darkest Hour. But I want to see the post, and I really want to give those movies opportunities because I think they have a strong shot in with Oscar categories and stuff like that, and really see if they land with me personally. Um, like I said before, I'm doing this just for myself for fun. If it creates discussion, that's awesome. I like talking about movies. I like seeing movies. Just even talking to a blank screen is enjoyable for me for the 10 to 15 minutes that I do it. And if you do like the video, feel free to like. If you want to listen more to me do these movies review, I guess feel free to subscribe. I'm probably gonna make a new channel down the line. I think I'm probably gonna wait until I get a few more of these done. Um, but definitely thank you if you stopped by and watched this. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. Things I felt that were missed that could get better. But overall, the important thing and the most important thing is I had a good time at the movies, and that's all we should really be wanting out of a movie is having a good time.